Okay, I feel like we all know that I'm just joshing with the title of this video, but I will say I'm going to be trying a few different ways of applying color and seeing if they work well together, and if they don't, like some triadic colors, some split complementaries, some complementary, because I like to push the rules that we have in the art world. But I'm pretty sure we all know that working a color within its full spectrum will always work well together. That's why these characters look so cohesive, no matter how far extreme I push the blue or the orange. No matter how far I pushed it, it looked nice. From our next little cutesy character, I wanted him to look very gummy, very cute, and kind of haunting. And hopefully he comes across as just that. But I don't want you to read just the expression that he has of kind of this cluelessness. I want you to respond to the colors. How are you responding to the deepness of his outline, the color of the background in contrast to the colors that he's encased in? How are you reacting to all of it? This sweet little guy has somewhat of an analogous color palette, meaning that the colors are pretty close on the color wheel. These also work really well together because they are so close. They use very similar hues to create themselves in a sense. Keep in mind, I'm not the best at color theory myself to even be explaining this. I just think that as an artist, you know what color you want to convey, so convey it. But just know that if it is too harsh on the viewer's eyes, it will be hard to read. But I feel like from reading this, it is very calm, it is very stark, but also kind of giving this like melancholy-esque feel as well, although very bright and innocent. The best way to utilize a color palette like his is finding a dominant color, a secondary color, and then an accent color, which I would say would be that accent is yellow, and then the dominant color is the color of the squishy baby. I'm going to call these three the triadic trio. Their colors are represented through their body. They're not going to be like mushed into each other. You'll see what I mean by that when it gets to a different character. But these are colors that are on the color wheel a little something like this. It's kind of good that they were drawn this way because there's going to be a dominant color like the guy in the middle with two accent colors typically. At least they say that's the best way to set up a triadic color wheel piece. But it kind of works for this one only because they're on the same page. But if you really wanted to test it, you would use it all in one character. We could possibly even call this trio split complementary because the orange and yellow are pretty close on the color wheel, whereas the blue is pretty far away from them. So I think it might be split complementary. We're learning here. We're learning. It wasn't until I started making this sad little chump that I realized why color theory is as strict as it is, but I also feel like I was very dramatic with the usage of it because it is very much so a strong purple and a very strong yellow. So I think it automatically just makes it look very sickly, almost irritating. Like I'm automatically angry with him, and the green doesn't help, especially since it's like a yellow green. So his whole palette makes me upset. But yeah, we're gonna cleanse our palette with this cute little guy. He's more of a skin tone-y version of that color blending. I wish I could have did a few more of this kind of guy, but just deepening that hue even with the skin, and then going to like a lighter pinker color for the blushes always works. I was already on a roll with irritating myself before with ugly color combos, so I just threw him in there for fun and made myself angry with this little message. What do we think? Do we like more of an analogous color palette? Are we more of a triadic kind of person? And what does those colors look like in your art? Is it a seasonal thing? I don't know. I feel like color is very interesting, and it has a lot to do with the way that we read and consume art. And so I wanted to talk about that here. See you in the next one. Bye.